Welcome to the grim reality check. You saw the headlines. US and UK authorities proudly announcing they froze assets tied to alleged scammers. Stop applauding the recovery. Demand an inquiry into the failure. This isn't a victory. It's a monumental embarrassment. The core story is not the £100 million London office building. It is the largest Bitcoin seizure in the history of the Department of Justice. Over $15 billion linked to a transnational criminal organization. We must ask, how did $15 billion in dirty crypto generated by human trafficking and cyber fraud flow through our regulated Western financial systems for years? The coordinated action is just a desperate attempt to cover up a systemic regulatory blind spot in London and New York.
Let's put aside real estate for a moment and focus on the source of this money: human suffering. This criminal network is behind the horrific pig butchering scams, where thousands of Americans are groomed online and financially executed, losing their life savings. Worse, the operation relies on human trafficking and forced labor in Southeast Asia. Workers are enslaved, tortured, and forced to run the scams. The money that bought that sleek London office, the luxury flats, and the $15 billion in crypto is blood money. We are not talking about simple white-collar fraud. We are talking about organized crime on an industrial scale. The U.S. financial system was directly, indirectly, and repeatedly used to launder the profits of modern slavery. The shame is overwhelming.
This entire scandal is a flashing red light for regulatory competence. The $100 million London building, the US real estate, the crypto accounts, all were held through complex webs of shell companies registered in territories like the British Virgin Islands. Where were the anti-money laundering controls? Where was FinCEN? Where was the Office of Foreign Assets Control? Their supposed robust frameworks were entirely ineffective. The City of London, a major global financial hub, was effectively operating as a premium money laundering concierge for a criminal empire. This confirms the critical view. Our regulatory bodies are slow, reactive, and easily circumvented by those with complex accounting structures. Their current actions are too little, too late to truly protect the thousands of Americans already victimized. Now, the impact on you, the American investor. First, the $15 billion crypto freeze, the largest ever. This action proves that governments can and will seize massive amounts of crypto, injecting extreme volatility into the entire market and raising serious questions about asset security. Second, the global real estate markets become immediately riskier. U.S. investors with exposure to the London or Asian markets now face heightened uncertainty. The investigation won't stop with one building. This creates a fear of capital flight and massive market instability. Furthermore, this action forces U.S. investors to reconsider the security of all their international investments. The regulatory failure has introduced a new, unpredictable level of geopolitical and criminal risk into every diversified portfolio. Let's be crystal clear. This is not a story of successful law enforcement. It is a tale of systemic US and UK financial complicity. The true victory is not seizing a building. It is ensuring this never happens again. we must demand two things. First, proactive reform. We need regulators capable of identifying shell company schemes before they launder billions, not years after the fact. Second, transparency. We need to know which U.S. financial institutions, knowingly or unknowingly, facilitated the movement of this blood money. Stop allowing politicians and regulators to hide behind a few frozen assets. Demand accountability for the $15 billion failure and the regulatory complacency that enabled a global criminal empire. Subscribe now, because we will continue to expose every financial lie affecting the American consumer.